He didn't have any business experience. He didn't have any selling on Amazon experience. And this guy was able to create a business, get one wholesale account. And this was just one wholesale account.
Just one wholesale.
One wholesale account. Like what he did is he created a model to show how to scale a business. And that was something an investor wanted to buy, right?
Wow.
Like he sold his company for $450,000 and is able to redo that process, right? Like now he knows that
incredible.
whole thing about growing a brand, increasing sales, etc.
Wow.
But the guy created a sellable asset in less than 2 years.
What's going on, everybody? Steve here, Raiken Profit over at RaikenProfit.com. Coming back to you with another video. I'm here with my good friend Dan Metters, and Dan started years back selling on eBay. He used to, hit up all different types of retail stores, doing retail arbitrage, selling on Amazon, and now, since then, he's done over $22 million in sales with a wholesale business, which is really, really cool. And I know a lot of you guys who are watching are looking for a business that allows you to be able to be making money semi-passively, having products come to you. You're looking to scale your business, have more freedom, make more money. And this is definitely an interesting opportunity. So in this video, what we really wanted to talk about with Dan is the top 10 reasons why you should consider looking into a wholesale business. So Dan, great to have you here, brother. How you doing, man?
No, fantastic. Just excited to be sharing this type of information with your audience, man.
Yeah, we posted that video a couple days ago sharing your story of how you got into wholesale. And man, this guy, he was dealing with so many ups and downs. You were failing left and right. You were trying to figure things out, and people have really enjoyed that video so far, man. So it's awesome to have you again, and people are excited because I promised you guys we're going to shoot a lot more videos, and this is the second one, but we got a lot more coming, so I'm pumped up for this. You think we should just kind of dive into it?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
All right, cool. And before we get into it, you guys got to do us a big favor. If you like these videos, if you want more videos like this, go down below and smash that like button. And so, yeah, with that being said, let's get into it. The first reason why you should look into a wholesale business, and this is contrary to popular belief or common belief, it's a low barrier to entry. A lot of people think it's really, really hard to get into wholesale. What are your thoughts on that?
No, for sure. I'm pretty sure it at least kept me out, just that myth kept me out of wholesale for at least 6 months, because I had that same feeling of, I'm going to try to place an order and they're going to want a $15,000, $20,000 order. And that's just not the case. The vast majority of brands that we reach out to have a minimum order of $250 to $500.
Really, that little?
Yeah. So whenever we're talking to new folks and they're asking that question of, how much money do I need to get started? It's always so much lower than they anticipate, because we feel like anybody can get started with this business model for $2,000. And when you're looking at a $250 or $500 minimum order, that's the ability to place up to 4 to 8 orders. That's the ability to place a large order and get discounts. So you can actively start building your business for $2,000 or less in the wholesale model.
That's not bad. So, start saving your money now. Start saving those flips, right? When you go to Goodwill and you flip something, you make $150, or, I went to Goodwill the other day. You wouldn't believe it. I picked up 30 brand new in the box Legos from 5-6 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And I paid anywhere from $12 to $20 each. Man, one of them sold for $350, another sold for $200, $180. So if you ever come across something like that, that's not to brag, but it's to say you're gonna find something like that. Put that money aside. Stock it aside for paying your taxes, and then also, stuff it aside for future investments, right?
Sure.
So definitely something great to keep in mind. We've got this whole list, right? We love making lists around here to keep things organized for you. And one of the things that you had mentioned, Dan, was people should get started in wholesale because it's process oriented. What do you mean by that?
Sure. Here's the, like I'd mentioned in that last video, we tried some other models like private label, running a retail store. The problem with those is there's so much individuality, right? I have to be good at creating package design or running ads. There's just a lot of different things that are much harder to metric.
Sure.
Whereas in wholesale, it's incredibly simplified, right? When we're looking at products, we just do it based on criteria. If the product meets these, 3 or 4 criteria,
That's
a product that we're interested in carrying.
And we have a video that's coming soon about all the criteria. Plus, it's in the checklist, but we're not holding back from you. We got more videos. Hey, what's up, everybody? Real quick, sorry to interrupt the video. I wanted to let you know, if you are interested in learning more about wholesale and if you want to start your own wholesale business, pause this video right now and download these 2 free guides. So there's 2 guides that we're giving away 100% free, and our good friends Dan and Dylan of the Wholesale Formula created them, and they've done over $25 million in sales over the last 5 years selling wholesale products on Amazon. The first guide is their 6-step process to starting a wholesale business. It's simplified, it's step-by-step. If you're interested in wholesale, download this guide. It's really gonna help you. And our second free guide is our product sourcing checklist. So, in order to be successful, you're gonna have to source your first product. You're gonna have to put your first deal together with a supplier. It's not as hard as people make it out to be. You're definitely gonna wanna get this checklist. It'll break down everything you need to do step by step to source that first product. So head over to RaikenProfit.com/free guides. I'll put a link down below. Again, pause this video, grab them, download them, take a look at them because it's gonna help you a ton on this journey. So before you watch any more videos and all that stuff, download it and then be sure to go through it tonight. It'll really, really add a lot of value to your life. So with that being said, let's get back to the video and be sure to take action.
Whenever you think about that, it's like, it becomes one of those color by number things, right? And then adding teammates or adding people to your business becomes really easy when it's a process-oriented business.
Interesting. Cool. Number 3, and this is probably one of the #1 things I love about this model, and even when I think about bulk buying, or I've been getting into pallets lately, products come to us. We don't have to go out and actively source each individual item, which it's so much fun. I love the treasure hunt, don't get me wrong. I do it all the time, taught my mom how to do it. But when you want to scale and grow your business, brother, you got to get products coming to you.
No, I mean, that's the thing is, I think eBay, like I said, in college, I loved eBay. And I paid my way through college, having extra money to spend, being able to, afford to actually eat real food and not do the ramen noodle thing through eBay. But the fact of the matter is like eBay's really hard to scale. Like it's, what do I have to do to scale it? I have to buy more products. I have to take more orders. I have to answer more customer questions and then ship more products. Like, it's a vicious cycle where more business is just so much extra strain on you that it's tough, particularly going out there and finding products, right?
Yeah.
Like that was one of the hardest parts for us to scale is, whenever we were doing retail arbitrage, like adding 10 extra hours a week for the entire year netted us an extra $60,000 or $80,000 in sales. It's just like the amount of leverage it takes to turn that lever is so high in those hands-on models that just the ability to have products coming to you rather than going out and finding it cuts so much out that you're able to invest that time back into your business and just see exponential growth.
Yeah, definitely get their free guide. Like I mentioned, it's called Wholesale 101 because they actually go into a reverse wholesale sourcing, or what is it? Reverse
sourcing wholesale.
Okay, I always reverse it. But go in there and learn about that because they really break down exactly how they do it and how products come to you. Because you might be thinking, well, I don't understand how wholesale works. How do products come to me? They have a strategy that I don't want to spoil it for you, but there's a strategy that they utilize where they contact small to mid-sized companies and they get the products coming to them. You set up deals and stuff. It's really not that complicated, but stick along. We'll definitely dive more into that. But we want to keep this video progressing. Number 4, this is a big one. Guys, how many of you out there, smash the like button right now if this is a problem for you. How many of you are trying to sell particular categories of items or brands of items and you can't? And why can't they?
No, just restrictions, right? Restrictions, gating.
Hate restrictions.
All those dirty words on Amazon. No, I mean, that was the, whenever we were retail arbitrage, like that became a problem with frozen. Like if you remember the frozen craze.
Those things were freaking flying off the shelves until.
Just couldn't carry it. Like, I mean, you just couldn't stock enough of it. And then one day Amazon turned off the ability to carry it. And that's, to me, that's when the world changed on Amazon. Right?
I remember when that happened and we're all like, what is a restriction? What is.
Yeah. And I remember we had thousands of dollars in inventory that we just couldn't even sell because we couldn't get through the restrictions with those retail invoices.
Wow.
So like for us, you know, and it's not just gating and restrictions. It's also counterfeit claims, right? Like for us, wholesale provides an insane amount of security because we're getting wholesale invoice, or we're getting brand owner direct invoices. Like we work directly with the brand themselves to buy our product. So if a customer says, hey, your product was counterfeit, guess what? We have that invoice to prove it.
So there's no such thing as restrictions in being gated off because you have the invoice, and that's what Amazon
requires.
So if you guys ever want to try to get gated in a category, there's one of two things that are going to happen. They're either going to instantly approve you, right?
Sure.
Or they're going to require what's known as an invoice. They're going to ask you a couple questions. They're going to want a legitimate invoice. They don't want to see a picture of a receipt or a handwritten.
Sure. No, I mean they want that professional invoice so that they know your products are coming from a reputable source. So, you know, that's the thing is it made us so much more secure, but it also opened up our business to start carrying new awesome products because now it becomes really easy to get ungated, right?
Yeah.
Like if I want to carry clothing, I just start doing wholesale, and I'm naturally ungated.
Definitely another benefit. One of the things that I've really adored coming here, we're in Corbin, Kentucky, and I've been learning a lot about your business, talk to your COO, your CFO, your different members of your team. And one of the cool things that I've found regarding your business is it's not 100% passive, but it's semi-passive in a sense because we're over here at your office, and I'll link up a video down below from a behind-the-scenes tour that we did
that's awesome.
last year when I came in. And I walked in and I was looking for all the products. I was looking for the shelving. I was looking for your forklift. I couldn't find it. Why don't you have any of that stuff here? Where is it? If you're running this multi-million-dollar business, where is it all?
No, I mean, that's the thing about wholesale specifically on Amazon, right? Because the products are coming to us. I don't have to bring them in. I don't have to package them. Like instead, like we utilize a prep center. And what that prep center does is
prep center.
Right. We work with a brand owner. We buy our products. They send it to a prep center. The prep center prepares it for shipment for Amazon and, packages it per Amazon policy.
Yep.
Then they send it directly to Amazon. So we never actually see any of the products.
So that's how it's somewhat semi-passive because you're putting your upfront work of building the relationship, doing the reverse sourcing wholesale.
Well, right. Even on that end, it's passive because we don't have to touch our products. But like from my end, right? Like you mentioned it, you talked to my CFO, my COO, everything in our company, like I mentioned earlier, is process driven, which meant that I was able to ultimately fire myself from all these positions in the business. So I don't make calls anymore. Like we have a staff member that does that. And you don't start with this kind of stuff on day one.
This is 7-8 years down the road.
Right, but it's something you can grow into. And I remember it's like, that eBay hustle and how hard you actually have to work. And that wasn't what I wanted in my business. Yeah. Like I wanted a business that I could step away from and be able to do other stuff without it having to shut down or without seeing significant drops in sales and stuff like that. So it is semi-passive. It's not completely passive, but the point is you can make it to have minimal involvement. Like our role in the business, like my day-to-day role is less than an hour a week.
Wow.
Like I just go in, I talk to our product teams, I ask them what's in the pipeline, I look at some financials, and then if everything's looking good, like just from there it's just spot coaching. Like they'll ask me if they if something's close to the line or something like that, and that's it. Our business just operates itself.
It's very, very inspiring. I wish you guys were all here right now. I know it'd be a lot of you. We probably couldn't fit you in this. How many square feet is this place?
5,000 square feet.
Holy mackerel, man.
Just offices. Like that's the other thing is I remember it. Like we used to have that warehouse. And I just remember like walking around the warehouse and it's like kind of like dingy, dirty feel. And now it's just like, I just love the environment. I love, how easy it is to bring on people to contribute to the team.
Right.
Like they just want to work here.
That's awesome. So you were speaking about finances earlier, and I think that's a great segue into our next point, which is predictable income.
Right.
Who here loves predictable income? Who here loves knowing that the next month you're not only going to make maybe the same amount of money, but maybe even more? Sure. Who hates having a $5,000 month, a $2,000 month, a $10,000 month, a $3,000 month? There's nothing more that drives me crazy than the unpredictable patterns that come along in some of our businesses.
Sure, and that's the thing is in those like retail arbitrage, thrifting models, Like you're just buying products with great margin, but you're not necessarily buying consistently selling
or a
products.
system. It's
Right.
not really like a sourcing system. You're hoping that you get lucky.
Right. You know, effectively that's what it is, and you ultimately do. That's the thing.
You're always typically going to get lucky,
Sure.
but it's going to sway.
Right. Like you buy your product and you have that great margin on it. It may take 2 months to sell it, right?
Yeah.
But you only have one, so it's not a big deal. You're able to sit on that type of inventory. With our model, you know, it's cash in, cash out, right? Like once a month we make a phone call. We know how many units of a product we can sell.
Okay.
Then I know what my margin is on that product. So the next month, guess what I'm able to do? I'm able to figure out exactly how much money I can reinvest and start growing my business. And that's ultimately when, you know, whenever we transitioned to entirely wholesale. Like the previous year, you know, doing a little bit of wholesale and mostly retail arbitrage, we were at 1.2 million. But that's the point, like where we caught that fire, right? Like we figured out the model, and then just doing, you know, just being able to predict our income and invest, knowing what we were going to invest the next month, our business grew 3x in 1 year, from 1.2 to 3.6 million. And it was because instead of wondering what my sales would be, I knew, and I could just find products that fit with with the extra profits and could continue to grow and scale.
Yeah, the predictability is just, it is incredible. And another thing that's pretty incredible as well is the scalability factor. And I don't think that's 100% due to wholesale. It's also due to just being on the Amazon platform because of the FBA program, Fulfillment by Amazon. They're fulfilling it, they're picking it, they're packing it, they're dealing with customer service. But with wholesale, it is more scalable in a sense because...
No, I mean, it is because everything is, like, again, it goes back to that process oriented, right? Like, you know, here's the thing. I ran a great business as a one-man show doing wholesale. I have a strong business now, a great business with multiple team members. So it's, you know, that's the thing about wholesale is with Amazon, I don't have to scale up my infrastructure. Like I'm able to outsource everything I want and just grow progressively. Like I don't have to invest in a warehouse. I don't have to invest in a forklift. Like I'm able to scale without that massive investment, without those, you know, building a real, like, you know, a physical company. Instead, Amazon gives me that flexibility, and that's just one of the huge benefits of the FBA system.
Cool, awesome. So if you guys are enjoying this so far, we've probably got about three more reasons why you should consider.
Oh, there's way more than that.
These are
just like Steve said. Give me the top 10 reasons people sell on wholesale. And you know, this was the first 10 that popped into my head.
But if you guys haven't already gotten the Wholesale 101 guide, be sure to grab that. It's free down below, and the product sourcing checklist. But number 8, and I'm not 100% sure what you meant by this. I feel like I could take this a couple different ways, but what do you mean by people should get into wholesale because they could really use their skills that they have? What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, wholesale is massively flexible, right? Like, and what you can be good at, like maybe you're good at sales, and then guess what? You should be on the phone more, you should be contacting manufacturers. Maybe that's not your thing. Maybe you're good at writing a great listing. Maybe you're good at taking great pictures. But you have the ability to utilize those skills no matter what they are. Like you can go find, let's say that you are a great photographer. Like it's not a skill I have, but if you're good at something like that, guess what you can do? You can specifically look for products on Amazon that have crappy pictures or bad pictures.
I see what you're saying, and you could improve those.
Right. That's something I could go right now and I could go to a brand owner, I could say, hey, you know, look at your pictures on Amazon. This is how many people see your product on a daily basis. Do you want to be seeing that terrible picture? Like that's what I'm great at. I would love to work with you, get you some amazing pictures on your listing. And then guess what? You're providing a level of value to that manufacturer to give them an incentive to actually work with you.
And that's one of the things that you had mentioned in the guide was go in and look for products that are selling decent or well that have issues with titles, with keywords, with pictures, various things that you guys can learn about, and go in and add value and improve upon it, because just changing up a picture or changing up a description or changing up some type of information in a listing could make a huge dramatic.
Sure, I mean, you got to look at it for what it is. Amazon literally has millions upon millions of people perusing their site on a daily basis. So like one of those changes could get your product in front of an extra 50,000 people immediately.
Yeah.
Just adding a keyword, being able to add pictures that make your product convert better. Like why, think about why brands want this.
Yeah.
Like not only does it have the ability to massively increase their sales, right? Like if they're able to find that fine balance of great pictures, great listing, etc., they're able to massively increase sales. But more importantly, like that is the world's biggest billboard for their product.
Yeah.
Like Amazon, more people see their product on Amazon than will ever see it in any store they go to. So having a great Amazon presence is really important to brands.
Yeah. And what's awesome, man, is, and you've been explaining a lot behind the scenes as well, is you mostly work with smaller and mid-sized brands. These are most of these brands people have never heard of.
Sure, mom and pop style brands almost.
They're selling really well. And by you going in and helping to improve, because these guys, they really come from, I've talked to the whole team and stuff, they come from a place of really wanting to add value, make a difference. It's always about a win-win. It's not about you making a bunch of money and then them suffering. You're going in and your number one goal is to add value and make a difference. And this is making a real impact in people's businesses and lives. And a lot of people think the only thing they want is money. Like you might be watching this video and you're like, I'm watching it because all I want is money. And I'm sure you want money, but people not only want money. One thing that people don't realize is they want purpose. They want to feel like they're contributing. They want to feel like they're making a difference. And with your business, it seems like you are really making an impact.
No, I mean, really, we do try to dial into those smaller brands, right? Like, and there's a couple of reasons. Number one, if I'm able to actually help them, I'm able to make changes on their listings or help them add a product to the catalog or something, that can have a huge financial impact on their business.
Yeah.
Like maybe that extra, those listing changes help that product make an extra $250,000 in sales per year.
Jeez.
Think about that. That's two employees potentially or so that brand now gets to hire to start growing their brand. So, that's the difference is I feel like, we do have an impact. We're able to actually help these brands grow. And I've talked to so many of them that we've dealt with and have started doing these changes, and you wouldn't believe the impact that it actually has.
Yeah.
Like being able to help them grow sales, bring on teammates, just help them understand the platform better, help them, what does a better Amazon listing do? Yeah. It ultimately helps them get products into retail stores because they can point to their Amazon listing and say, hey guys, look at the reviews on our listing now. So, it's one of those things of massive impact. And you mentioned everybody wins in these scenarios, right? Like we're able to help the brand grow their sales. We're able to make money. But what else happens? The customer has, instead of wondering what they're going to get, they're able to go to a listing. They're able to buy their product and get that value, right? Yeah. Like a perfect listing that helps them understand their product and ultimately make sure that they're making the right decision too. So like literally everybody wins in this scenario when you're able to work with these brands and have some level of impact on how they operate. Yeah, and you guys can do this as well. You can learn how to do this. This isn't rocket science. No, it's easy. I mean, a couple guys from Kentucky figured it out. Yeah. So hopefully these videos will be helping you with that. And last but not least is freedom, right? This business, you were saying behind the scenes that it's been able to really not only change your life in a monetary way, but also it's allowed you to have more free time to spend time doing the things that you love. Sure. No, I mean, it's, think about the reasons when you get into business, right? Like maybe your first time, like maybe when you first get started, it's, I just want to make some extra money to be able to have some, flexibility in my life, like, cover all my bills, and then it turns into, wow, I'd like to take a vacation, right? And then maybe some people get to that step and they're like, you know what? I would love to own my business. But what you don't think about is you don't think about the fact that you don't want to own a job. Like you don't want to chain yourself to a desk. And that's what this business does, is that I don't have to be involved in those day-to-day operations because it's not about my individuality. It's just about, the criteria that we use to make sourcing decisions. And your systems. Right. So, whenever what that does is it creates an actual business that operates without me, which gives me freedom in my life. And that's why I ultimately wanted to get into business. Like, whenever I got started, it was, what were the big benefits? And it's, I want to spend more time with my kids. Like last week is a good example. My daughter, I was like, so what's one thing you want to do before we go back to school? Because she went back to school today. And this was like Monday that we had the discussion, like last Monday. And she said, Dad, I'd love to go to Los Angeles. I thought she was going to say Disney World. No, she just wanted to go to Los Angeles. She wanted to see the Hollywood sign. She wanted to go to Beverly Hills and just do all the cool touristy stuff. And I was like, really? Is that what you want? And then I have a 4-year-old too. And I was like, what about you, McKenna? And she's like, yeah, I'd love to go to California. So we just booked a flight and we went. We left Thursday and got back Sunday evening.
Wow, that's cool.
But that's what freedom is.
And like, it ain't cheap out there getting hotels, because when I was over there, I was like, wow.
No, they like to price it up, but they have a lot of stuff to see. But I mean, that's what real freedom is, right? It's like being able to just to pack up and go and enjoy the moment.
That's awesome.
And that's I think that's a huge benefit of this model, is that it does provide that scalability, that process-oriented nature, to where you can grow yourself out of jobs and give yourself that flexibility to do what you want when you want.
Yeah. And last but not least, this is kind of like a little bonus, because you had Dylan, he had told me about this when we had just come in. You actually taught somebody how to do your wholesale business, and he was telling me that they recently sold their business for $450,000.
Yeah, so let me tell you about that. This is really cool story.
And that's like a real business. A lot of us eBay sellers and Amazon sellers, we can't sell our business because it's not really like a sellable business.
See, and this is, I think a lot of people are confused about this. Like, they feel like they need private label to create a brand, or they don't have a sellable asset. So what Emmerich, the guy's name is Emmerich Manello.
He's been on my channel before. Yeah.
Yep. So here's the progression. Like, you got to see like how his business had grown, but I don't know if you talked to him about it.
He was thinking about it. I think he was doing like $700,000 a year, and I think since then he had boosted it up to, I think, over $1 million or $1.2 million, and he was profiting around like 2 or something. I don't remember, but
yeah, he ran it up to where he was generating about $200,000 a year in profit. And bear in mind that this guy got started in I think it may have been 2016.
Yep.
Number one, he really didn't speak English very well at the time. He had just moved to the United States. He didn't have any business experience. He didn't have any selling on Amazon experience. And this guy was able to create a business, get one wholesale account. And this was just one wholesale account.
Just one wholesale.
One wholesale account. Implement the systems for it. He didn't have IP on the brand. He didn't have an exclusivity deal or anything like that. Like, what he did is he created a model to show how to scale a business, and that was something an investor wanted to buy, right?
Wow.
Like, he sold his company for $450,000 and is able to redo that process, right? Like, now he knows that
incredible.
Whole thing about growing a brand, increasing sales, etc.
Wow.
But the guy created a sellable asset in less than 2 years without any
less than 2 years?
Yeah. Without any real experience, without any selling on Amazon knowledge. And was able to sell his business. Like, since then, we actually hired him into our business.
No way.
Yeah, like, he's an incredible dude.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it's just a phenomenal turn of events. Like, it couldn't have happened to a better guy either.
So if that doesn't convince you guys to want to look into starting a wholesale business, I do not know what will. But hopefully that inspired you, motivated you, educated you guys, and got you excited about this. If you want to learn more, stay tuned on the Raiken Profit YouTube channel. The best thing you could probably do is just go down below, download the free Wholesale 101 guide and the product sourcing checklist. You'll be able to go through all that. You'll be able to really get an advantage and a head start on other people, or just on yourself making progress. And also, if you get on that email list, I'll send you guys out some more emails of free videos that we're going to be recording.
Not only that, I'm sure it'll send them some other cool content, right?
Yeah, of course, exactly. So with that being said, keep on picking to making that money, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.